There was a van parked in front of the crib that said, "I hate Satan," and the shit had the craziest quote you've ever seen in your life. It said something about like it's the end of the world, and like Beyonce uses the Bible for like tampons and shit.
Yo.
I swear to God, I got a picture.
Right,
like,
I wasn't with him at first, but I think
we're gonna flash the picture when this drop. We're gonna flash the image of me like doing the prison pose in front of that shit with my man Wiles
in front of the.
And then we go across the street, and this fucking old dude is just blasting music out his minivan, just wilding. Like it looked like his last night on Earth, bro. He took out his teeth, bro. He told me like, yo, he had like Yeezys and like G-Stars on, and he's like 65. He looked like somebody pops, like somebody that's like, I don't know if it was like
what
somebody.
Did he blast?
It looked like
what
somebody
type of
from
music?
like working on Diane's like uncle or some shit.
What type of music is he blasting?
I got the video. Count It Up by J. Cole.
Oh,
like, count it up, count it up, count it. Like he's just wilding. Like
he's just
like,
trying to get some young pussy on the street.
He looked like Lil Uzi, like dancing I Wanna Rock and shit.
Yo, he's trying to pull some 22-year-olds.
So we start talking to him and my phone died. My phone died. Yo, I swear to God, this man looked me dead in my face and he goes, in the middle of the whole shit, he's like, you know who blew up the pyramids? Me. I'm the guy that your mother warned you about. This shit was nuts. Like,
and you're tripping. Like,
yeah, I was. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Yo, I knew exactly what he was talking about. I seen his whole life story in his eyes, yo. I was like, damn, Unc, you gotta put the crack down, yo.
Bro, yo.
What a way to start this shit off. Let's go.
Yo, that's the thing. When you're tripping, the universe just throws you shit that
bro,
you never
it glitches. It glitches. I remember one time in DC, it was me, Ankhlejohn. I think my man Tyler Dell was there. All of us on acid. And we crossing the street talking about car accidents. Two cars just fucking smashed into each other. Yo. And I told my man, I was like, yo, I did that shit with my mom, you heard? Fucking love mushrooms, man. I used to sell acid, so I used to always have that shit. I would always have like a sheet on me, at least a sheet or two. Like I'm notoriously known for like being a shaman. I've gave a lot of people their first tab and shit.
Okay, I want to ask you what a shaman is because I've said that on this podcast. I'm
like a shaman for shooters. You know what I mean?
The shaman shit.
For real, I got like there's quite a few like notorious like street legends. You heard that got their first tab from me, man.
Yeah.
And switched their whole shit up, went vegan, all types of shit. You heard, for real. My first DMT vape pen from Rome Streetz.
Everyone has that same story.
Shout out Rome.
He has the song, DMT.
Yeah, he's the plug. Yeah.
He's the DMT guy. What was your first trip like? DMT
on
trip.
DMT?
Yeah. First time you broke through and shit.
First time I really like broke through, I was at this shorty college in her dorm. And she was doing homework and shit. I was just on the floor. It's like ripping that shit, right? I'm like, fuck it. We going to fucking Pluto. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Pen.
Yeah, so
I'm real shit.
Nah, I never smoked that shit out of a bong, yo. That
you
shit like I heard that shit smell like death and shit.
You know, it smells like you're burning tires, but that shit
like
takes
it's like
you there.
like burnt hair or some shit.
Yo, yeah,
that's what I heard.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So like I'm kind of all set with that shit, but I'm ripping the shit. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'm a break through. I'm gonna keep hitting this shit till this shit hit back. It felt like I was in an elevator, right? And you could call it like ancestors, whatever, ancestral energy, whatever you want to call it. It was like a group. At the top of the elevator, what felt like an elevator, you know what I mean? And they were like, yeah, he ready. Let him up another floor. Let him up another floor. And then when I really broke through, it was like the elevator doors open. It was just lights. And then this shit got weird. This shit was like, it felt like I walked into the weird room. It was like Williamsburg. Like a bad night in Williamsburg. And then I realized I wasn't breathing. Like this shit like took my breath away. So once I started breathing again, I left the weird room. The weird Williamsburg cocaine room.
I want to hear about how the Harvard interview went, because you said that was a wild
I got that shit selling
story.
mushrooms at Hempfest. So I'm like, mushrooms, I got mushrooms, y'all. Sound like I was selling newspapers in like the 30s and shit. And this kid walking by me, he keep looking at me and shit. I'm like, yo, I got him, man. It's never too late to be great, you heard? He keeps staring at me. He's like, yo, you Al.Divino? I'm like, yeah, I am Al.Divino. Da-da-da. He started like bucking out. He's like, yo, it's cool if we take a flick, da-da-da. And then he spun the block on me. Yo, I must have sold like 2 ounces of mushrooms in like 45 minutes, bro. I sold that shit to like an old Indian couple. I was head cracking. That shit was lit. I sold out my inventory. But like 20 minutes later, he spun the block on me and was like, yo, my mans, he writes for the Harvard Crimson. So yeah, I got an interview in a Harvard newspaper by like selling drugs.
And doing a lot of other shit.
Yeah, but like not specifically.
Like literally,
yeah,
if
like
you weren't out there.
if I was not on the same corner selling mushrooms, I probably wouldn't have got my interview.
In Harvard.
In the Harvard newspaper. Like,
Isn't
literally.
that kind of crazy?
It's fucking insane, bro. It's insane.
Shout out Ryan.
It was like some real like how high shit. Definitely shout out Ryan, bro. It's
And
crazy.
it's
The only
like-
experience I got with Harvard was like back in the day. Me and my mans was like, my mans had like cutties at Harvard, like cokeheads and shit.
Yeah,
Word,
they
they get in the car like mad drunk, buy like an 8-ball cut for like fucking $250. Those were the days.
That's your only memory
Now
of Harvard?
yeah, that's my only memory of Harvard, bro. And now I'm in the newspaper. It's lit. Selling drugs.
Do you remember spitting that verse after with for Wes that night after the show at Brighton Music Hall?
What do you mean, the joint I recorded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
shit
mean,
was,
I haven't heard it since my man Sheikh Hanif. He don't drink or smoke. So I checked in with him for like the recap of the night. You know what I mean? Because I be getting faded.
we were all
He
lit
be
that
on
night.
Dean, but he don't drink or smoke, so he remembers everything. So I was like, yo, yeah, I probably wrote that shit in like what, like 30 minutes? He was like, 30 minutes? You wrote that shit in 10, 15 minutes. You was done in like 20 minutes. I don't know if that's like parallel to your recollection of it.
It is. That's exactly what
I
happened.
that shit the fuck out, man.
There's
Well,
a
that's
reason.
what we
There's
do.
a reason I'm bringing that up, but I think that's an important story. Because one, after that show at Brighton Music Hall, shout
And that was
out
actually
Rome
my
Streetz.
beat. That's my beat.
Really?
Yeah. I don't really want to leak what that beat is for, but
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell the
that beat was
project.
originally on Guns and Butter, right? So like me and Nack, when we was at Gunn crib, like mixing down Peace Fly Guard and shit, you know, like our homie Crucial the Guillotine sent us a batch that he wanted Gunn to hear, and he heard this shit and he was like, he kind of just shrugged it off, whatever. We wasn't sure. I'm like, yo, I'll black on every single one of these joints if he ain't feeling them. So that's why I ended up doing. And then that beat ended up spinning the block. I'm like, what's up? Let's re-rock it.
And you went crazy.
I went
on
off
that shit.
again.
After the bet, what you considered, and I thought you killed it up there, but I remember you saying that was the best show you felt, like your best performance
Arguably, yeah.
at Brighton Music
I was
Hall.
mad prepared.
And then we go to the studio. You kill that shit.
We ordered
and,
like 12 pizzas.
so much fucking Domino's, bro.
A lot of Domino's, yo. That was like the Leaning Tower of Pisa of Domino's.
Bro, Domino's, we needed
Somebody
that
got a
kinda
pizza
last
with like
night.
no sauce. I don't
It
know who that
just
was.
cheese and bread.
It was just cheese and cardboard. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Whose man's is this?
you
Who
can't
did
be
that?
getting plain ass.
I feel like I seen 1,000 Words take a slice out that box. I never looked at him the same since. Nah, I'm fucking with you down. You know I love you down. I just fucking with you. Yo, shout out there. That's my twin.
Shout out 1,000 Words. I'm stoned as hell, but I do want to get back. Is we were all lit that night, and you came from a place of just like in 10 minutes you wrote that shit
Early.
and spit it crazy,
Early.
like just black. And you probably only had to record it, do 2 takes on that shit.
Early. Yeah. I'm a professional hitman, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I do this shit for real. I do this shit for a living. You know what I mean? So I don't, especially when it come to Gunn, you know what I mean? Gunn, give me the word, that shit is over with. That shit is, consider that shit lit on fire. I've been waiting for that shit for a long time. A lot of people know me for being the first. I was like the first person up on that shit out here. I put
Gunn.
Nack on the Gun back in the day.
How'd you first hear about him?
You know what I mean? An older head from Framingham put me on the Huss, and I heard him on Victims of Vogue. I was like, who the fuck is this? You know? I was like, yo, this voice is crazy. Like, I'm fucking with this. It was like Hitler 3 ain't even come out yet. You know what I mean? So it was like around like Hitler 2, like Nickel City Blend shit. I just was spreading the gospel, man. It was like, I've never been the type of person like, oh, you ain't up on this, da-da-da-da. Like, nah. I'll be like, yo, you need to know about this. Like, you would love this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Just spread the gospel out here, man. Like, Boston got a lot of love for Gunn, bro. For real. Every time we do a show out here, they should be on fire. Since the jump.
What was your connection to him?
What do you mean?
Like, why was his art different to you?
Well, first of all,
I describe it as third eye
he really
shit.
like him. Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, like when Fly Guard Tracklist came out, he had A.A. Rashid on the outro. I already knew who A.A. Rashid was. Off of like Sonetta and shit like that, like Consciousness on like YouTube and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck? What? I'm like, yo, this shit don't even, and then that's a classic outro, bro. He's like, you missed the first 3 periods of school, man. Art, theater, and fashion. You a theatrical performer, man. Stop fronting. That's like the gospel right there. Like, Gunn is the GOAT. Just the way he curates everything, the beats, like the whole aura. Like, I know that voice. That voice sound like a little 14-year-old stick-up kid that sniffed coke. You know what I mean? That rob you for your shit. That's what that shit sound like if he grew up. That's what I heard when I heard that shit. It was like, hey, yo, you know what I mean? That shit's just that's some back in the day New York shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just a breath of fresh air, you know what I mean? Because it ain't really about like rapidy rap shit. Even though Gunn be rapping his ass off when he want to, you know what I mean? But it's really just about aura, man. Just brought like a whole new aura, you know, like from the merch, the covers, everything, you know what I mean?
The energy.
It's just, it's immaculate. You heard? It's immaculate curations.
See, all right, and I'm going to
But Rock is the godfather, you know what I mean? Rock sparked this whole shit. Without Rock Mars, we'd still be in a dark age, you know what I mean? We in a Renaissance era, you know what I mean?
You're a big part of that.
That's a blessing, you know what I mean? To be more than like just like a spectator, but to be like a participant in a moment like this is.
But you had to stay down.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about. And that's what I mean. I'm going to keep going back to that point about that verse until I get to the point of it. Is in that moment you stepped up, and where does that knowledge come from? Does that come from experience? Does that come from a connection to a higher power? Where does
my preparation? Like while I was ready?
Yeah.
Bro, I got like 50 albums. I put out like a lot of music. I'm only 28.
You put out some crazy albums this year.
Exactly.
A number of albums that are all fantastic.
Thank you. You know what I mean? So I do this shit for real. That's that. It's like it's like Goku in the fucking hyperbolic time chamber with the weights on and all that shit. You know what I mean? That's been me for moments like that. You know what I mean? My gun go off, man. I'll be ready.
What kept you down? What kept you going?
Keep it a buck, bro. I came in the game kind of like sanctioned, bro. I came in the game with some significant people. You know what I mean? People know what it is, so I don't really gotta give it airtime and all that shit. People know what it is, man. I kind of came in the game on some like, yo, since my first shit. But since my first shit was crazy. My Al.Divino Edition 1 is crazy.
Yeah.
To this day, people still fucking with it. It's like 5-6 years ago. You know, so I've been doing this shit for a minute. I don't know. I can't really call it, doggy.
Yeah. It's just, you know.
I'm the one.
Yeah.
That's it. You know? And that's what the knowledge is knowing that shit. I don't think that shit. I know that shit. Yeah. Can't nobody see me. I don't care what it is. You heard? Like, I don't really be talking my shit like that. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck from the flows. Like, man, I've made a lot of people step their shit up. Me and Nack. You heard? We kind of like shifted this whole shit. You know what I mean? From the way we took the flow off the grid. You know what I mean? We came with like an unquantized flow that a lot of people got, like either bit or got inspired by. Some people pay homage. Some people act like they never got nothing from nobody. You heard? But
how you feel about that?
I don't give a fuck. Just pay me, man. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
To me, like, I just like, it feels good to influence people. You know what I mean? To inspire people to be better. You heard? So I can't be mad at that shit.
Yeah. But you just
it feels good. Like, it make me feel valuable. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, we really put a mark in this shit. You know what I mean? We really left our footprint in this shit. And this shit ain't going nowhere. Never. She gonna always, you know what I mean? We on the Mount Rushmore shit. How I see it. Can't leave out Nack and Divino. I at one point I had to like divide it up. It was like, this is Al.Divino, this is cvv.vino. You know what I mean? This is like contemporary. They're both, Al.Divino ain't boom bap. It's not like 90s music, you know what I mean? But it's, CVV is more like contemporary to me. You know what I mean? It's more like contemporary music. It's like, yo, I do that shit for my people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did the Al.Divino shit for years. I'm still doing that clearly, but like, I do that shit for me. You know? Like, I made like 30 albums for myself.
You ever go actually skiing?
This motherfucker off the hook, right? Yo, that was crazy. I went snowboarding when I was younger. I ain't never went skiing for real. You heard? But I have jumped out the helicopter on skis a couple times in my life. You know what I mean?
love skiing, and I was about to say, we gotta go skiing. Not on the podcast. We ain't going skiing on the podcast.
Hey, yo. On this episode of Winter Olympics, I love comedy. Like, that's my shit.
My dad's favorite movie growing up was Chappelle's Block Party. And that makes sense for, like, why I'm who I am. You know what I mean?
Bro,
like,
the food, like Chappelle, when he did the food with Carmen and Kanye, walked in the crib. Like, what? Yo, Dave Chappelle is one of the illest human beings of all time.
Rap and comedy do have a lot of similarities, though.
Absolutely. Like, to me, like, Chappelle showed me what comedy is really about. And it's alchemy. It's alchemy. It's taking something that's not funny and making it fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
They had this shit in Lawrence. It was like this event. They had like a box. They put a boxing ring in the shit. It was like stand-up, like local stand-up fucking boxing ring. This shit was nuts. It was an art gallery. This shit was nuts, right? This kid went up there trying to do comedy. And at that moment, I realized the one factor that will fuck up a comedy show. And that's not telling everybody to shut the fuck up. If that shit is not dead silent, you are going to bomb.
Oh,
like, absolutely 100. Like, yo, I'm looking at this motherfucker. I'm like, yo, this is so cringeworthy right now. I'm like, everybody's just talking over your shit. I'm like, yo, the only way stand-up will work is if everybody shuts the fuck up. Then it's like the joke's gonna land and shit, but
you can't be timid.
The room can't be, I'm talking about the room was loud.
No, yeah.
Like, it's like he's not even there.
No, but
he's
you can't be timid going up. You have to go up and control.
No, man.
You have to
gotta own
whatever.
The room.
And that's
you gotta tell them to shut the fuck up.
Isn't
like,
that
listen,
very
shut the
similar
fuck up.
to fucking rap in the way that, all right, no one's gonna pay attention
Nah, it's
until
kind of the opposite.
start.
Like, I don't, like, they gotta scream constantly. It's like the complete opposite for me, but it's like yin yang, I would imagine. Like,
all right, I guess it's different.
I hate when like crowds don't like have a brain aneurysm, like just fucking short circuit. Just go full retard in the crowd. You heard? That's all I want. That shit make me want to bite somebody's face off when it gets lit.
I go crazy in crowds.
I love that shit. Like I'll be
hoping
that like when I die, and I go to the other realm or whatever you want to call it, that there's like a little midget. And he's just like with a typewriter, and he just like documented everything. Like he knows exactly how, like the Akashic records or whatever. You heard? Like also like when you get to the Akashic records, it's like a little Harry Potter little elf that popped up in his room. I imagine he would look like that. And he's just like, he got a book, right? And he's like, you got head this many times. You had this many slices of pizza. You smoked this many cigarettes. This many bottles of tequila.
How many tabs
so,
do you
bro,
think
because
you
I
took?
put up fucking numbers. What?
AA guy.
Man, I love Danny Brown, man. Like, you gotta understand, like, I was listening to Danny Brown in high school when he had cornrows and he had a fiend breaking down copper pipes in his kitchen and shit. I'm like, this motherfucker is crazy.
No, he's one of the best.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
Shout out Danny Brown, bro.
Final question.
That's it?
We've gone over an hour.
We could go longer, man.
All right, I didn't know.
Fuck?
We can keep
Sam,
going.
You just gonna fold on me?
I'm not folding.
You folded like a napkin, bro. He's like, all right. So if a shark is as big as a middle school, do you know how big their fucking teeth are? It would be like 7 feet. It's like 300 y'all minutes.
That's like one bite. One bite, you're dead.
Nah, you're not gonna die when he bites you.
One bite, you're dead.
No.
All right, do you get the M&M or the Oreo?
It's like a Rorschach test. It's like a psychological defining trait.
See, he already said.
Do you eat Filet-O-Fish from McDonald's?
See, he already said I look like I like gore, and I feel like if I say I like Filet-O-Fish,
but he didn't say that. He didn't just guess that
you
shit.
look like you look like you like Filet-O-Fish. I do give off the Filet-O-Fish vibe.
You do got Filet-O-Fish. You kind of Filet-O-Fishy. You kind of Filet-O-Fishy a little bit.
I did.
With cheese.
I feel like you could do voiceover for the animation.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
you do need a cartoon.
I curated.
Fuck a podcast. Get a cartoon.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if the cartoons and the music and the art shit don't work out, then I'm gonna get on my Noriega shit and just like
that's your last.
I swear to God,
last resort.
I swear to God, I'm gonna be so lit. I'm gonna be so lit. I'm gonna take your job, Sam. Yo, tell him about the comic book. I was like, oh, I'm a fucking asshole.
He looked at you so mad.
He looked at me crazy.
He looked at you so mad.
That's my man, though. That's my man's, though. I feel like I could get that shit off. Like, if anybody could get that shit off, it was me. Oh, Danny Brown lick up, yo. He's fucking hilarious. He took his shoes off and dance battled a homeless person.
Yeah.
This is the type of shit I talk about doing figuratively.
On Thanksgiving.
Like, figuratively, I do it in my mind, but I never do it in real life. Like, he really did that shit in real life.
Nah, he really did that in real life, bro.
Yeah. Hey,